Welcome to Tiger Football once again on Twin Valley Sports. I'm Rocky Downing with KCLY Radio and joined by the head coach of the Clay Center Tigers, Coach Todd Rice. Coach, last week we got a chance to talk about a Week 1 win in a very tight ball game. This week we talk about loss number 1 against a very good Great Bend Panthers team. I said, and I know Phil Casper said as well, didn't feel like you guys played poorly. That was just a very good team.
It was a good team, but we were disappointed and hoped to play better than that. But, you know, tribute to them and their program. They've got, you know, they're big, they're fast, all those things. But we had hoped that we would have played a lot better. And, you know, we went in thinking if some things fell into place, we're going to win the game. So hopefully we can learn a lot from that game.
You went in thinking things could fall into place, and it really did on that opening drive. Thing of beauty, you guys take a punt or a kick return really that maybe you could have let go to the end zone. You get it out around the 10, and you got a long field ahead of you, and the first play from the line of scrimmage goes 60 yards. Luke Schlegel to Sean Fitzenmeyer. It was fun.
Right, it was. I mean, we showed some flashes in that game, and you know, we're real happy with, of course, what Luke's doing, and we talked to him last week. And then Sean brings a lot to the receiver corps for us, and he's very capable of making some big plays, and hopefully we're starting to show some of that, and some of that's coming together.
I thought it was good also, not just the big play to start with, but then you kind of methodically really pushed it down the field and got yourself in position to score. We know the turnover happened, but you did some real good things on an opening drive.
Right, and you know, for our kids to come out and execute, you know, and they're all wired up, first home game, and ready to go, and I was pleased with how we did with that, you know, up until we turned it over. And then we talked throughout the football game, you know, we wanted to get 12 first downs, try to sustain the football in some situations, and at times we showed flashes, but not as consistently as what we hoped to.
I know that you guys are down 21-0 at half. You come out, you score. Luke Schlegel, a 10-yard run. And again, it was a situation where you found ways to keep the drive alive. Eric Anderson came up with catch after catch, it seemed like. Cord Carlson in there. Fitzenmeyer, you mentioned. Joe Weethorn had a big catch. It's kind of fun to see you guys. I guess the passing game was what they were allowing to happen. You took advantage of it.
Right, and I think, you know, we've got a lot of different kids can help us in that area. And I think Luke does a good job with his, he's getting better with the read progression on where we need to go with that, and so I was real pleased with what he was doing, how he was distributing the football, and you know, I thought our line did some real good job on a lot of that. Was kind of some sprint out stuff, but the guys up front really helped out too.
I know that coaches don't like to get their number 2s in situations where you're losing football games, but with that said, I always think it's a great thing when number 2s come in and play clean, and I thought you guys really played pretty solid in their first real opportunity on the field.
I thought it was important for us, you know, in that fourth quarter. We got Joe Weethorn in there, got a couple series at quarterback, and just some kids mixed in. Kyle Converse came in at offensive tackle, Adam Seamers. We just had a lot of guys coming in, getting some quality time for us in the mix, and, you know, we're going to need a lot of depth. Unfortunately, Great Bend was bound and determined that they probably weren't going to pull anybody. But, you know, that's kind of the way it played out.
Yeah, the touchdown differential in the end of the football game, really, it was a much better game than that I felt that you guys put together. Let's talk about this week in the Abilene Cowboys, Cowboy Week, as those who have been around here a long time know about. This is a great rivalry, and I know it's your first opportunity in the first edition you'll be a part of, but Abilene Clay Center have a great history in all sports. Typically, you can throw out records because the two teams are going to kind of rise up to play against each other. Right. I know Eric Anderson's going to be our guest here coming up on pregame, and talked with him earlier. He said, you know, they've never beaten this team in his high school career. They've been close every time. Right. They would really like to put that feather in the cap, especially on the road against the Cowboys.
Right, and, you know, and I'm just kind of new to all that, but, you know, you mentioned the word Abilene, and, you know, you can just tell the kids kind of get fired up, and they really look forward for this opportunity. And you know, I hope they have a little chip on their shoulder that, you know, they've lost some heartbreakers and some games down the stretch, and I hope that motivates us to work harder.
Both teams, Abilene and Clay Center, come off losses. Bueller and Great Bend, both very, very impressive programs. Abilene came in with a team that they thought could compete for a league title and be up in the state rankings, and when you have guys like White here on the line, Nick Rice at quarterback, who stepped in and done a nice job, and when you put a Curry Sexton on the field, good things can happen. I'm sure he'll be a focal point tonight.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's everywhere their offense is going. He's right in the middle of it. You know, and they're big and physical up front. They have some good depth, and you know, if they're going to run the ball, Sexton's in the backfield. If they're going to throw it, they're throwing to him. And you know, he's a pretty special player, and they do a lot with him, and that's going to be a big challenge for us.
I know it doesn't make it easier. I think that's the wrong term, but Great Bend had such great team speed.
Right.
And Abilene's got a lot of speed, but it really is focused in a couple of different areas, and you'd think that would give your game plan a little more openness to it?
A little bit. I mean, you know, last week they could, you know, their backs, they had two backs that just were very elusive and fast, and their perimeter guys. So, you know, Abilene does not possess that amount of team speed across the board. So hopefully that'll help us kind of focus in on a couple main areas and be able to shut some of their go-to plays down.
Good mindset for the guys this week?
I think so. We've had a couple of really good practices mixed in there. You know, we talked Monday about, you know, we're disappointed in how last week went, and hopefully we're never satisfied with accepting, you know, a loss, and hopefully we come back and that motivates us to work that much harder. So I thought our guys have taken to the task. They know what's at hand this week and what's at stake for us.
Well, it's fun to get back into league play, and for you it's the first time against the Abilene Cowboys. Coach, good luck this week.
All right, thanks a lot.
Tiger football on the road in Cowtown. Joined today by one of the captains of the Clay Center Tigers, Eric Anderson. Rico, a 1-1 start for you guys. I know it was good to get the win on the road against El Dorado. You knew Great Bend was going to be very, very solid. Tell us what they brought to the field and how physical was that game on Friday night?
Well, their team, what they are is they're fast, and they have big linemen. So they kind of use their linemen to just get them little gaps, and then they use their speed to their advantage. And I mean, it's hard to stop because they're probably the fastest team we'll face all year.
Now, we said on Friday night to the crowd that was listening, we didn't feel you guys played poorly. That was just a very good 5A state-ranked team. What was the feel this week from your coaches and you guys?
I mean, we started out the game really good. You know, we had a drive going, and we just had an unfortunate fumble. We started out good on defense, and then they just kind of got some big plays going, and we couldn't really stop them.
I know that Coach Rice said one of the keys to victory was going to be not to let big plays happen, and you guys really did that for the most part. They got up 21-0, but they had to grind it out a little bit. Then there was a fumbled snap, which turned into a real strange play. I know you're in the secondary, and they found a guy wide open downfield. What happened on that play?
Yeah, I mean, on a fumble, everybody's looking to get the ball, and our players just kind of bit up towards the ball, and one of their receivers snuck in behind us, and unfortunately it led to a touchdown.
Let's talk about this week's game, the Abilene Cowboys. NCKL play begins. It's been said over and over in every sport. I know you've heard us say it since you were in junior high.
Yep.
When Abilene Clay Center get together, throw out records, throw out rankings, whatever it may be, these two teams always go at it hard. You know these guys very well. You've played against them in every type of sporting event there is. What's this game mean to you now, knowing it's a senior year and the last chance to go get the Cowboys?
It means a lot because we've never beat them when they've had their full team. I mean, we've always came really close, and they've always been tight games, but they always just somehow find a way to beat us, and it would be awesome if we could find a way to beat them this time.
Maybe on their field, be fun?
It would be really fun if it was on their field.
Rico, go get them this Friday.
Thanks.